Hello, nice to have you back here in the lobby for the interview. We want to say hello to Daniel, who is here with us now. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
Fine, thanks. For us, it's already quite late in the afternoon. For you, it's about starting into the day. We've just seen your pot of coffee.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't necessarily go away later in the day. It just gets refilled.
Okay. So probably as a good start, would you love to tell the people who you actually are and what you're doing and just a bit about you?
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Dan Kelso. If you've seen the last name and you thought to yourself, I have no idea how to pronounce that, it is Kelso.
Okay.
Suspicious lack of vowels. I've been working for Adobe for actually just for a few months now. Previously, I'd been consulting in the AEM and Adobe space for a number of different companies, mostly recently Proficient. And I've come into the AEM assets engineering team, so helping with the AEM cloud service assets. And then if you're familiar at all, I've been working with Apache Sling and contributing to that project for some time now, as well as ACS AEM Commons, some modules and such there. So, trying to kind of give back as I've been doing my work and trying to contribute to resolving some of the, rough edges around the AEM platform from the outside and now coming into the inside as well.
Cool. And Lars already mentioned, for us, it's kind of ending the day. For you, it's the start in the day. Where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Michigan in the United States. I currently live in Cincinnati, Ohio, so kind of just in the middle. So we're on the far edge of Eastern time zone. So it's 10:37 in the morning here. So just kind of right in the middle of that productive time between everybody in Europe finishing up their day and everybody in California getting started from there. So one of the advantages of being on the East Coast is, you get that nice 3-hour block there where I can actually be productive between meetings.
Cool. And you said you live in Cincinnati. So you live there with your family or?
Yeah, I do. So I have 2 children and married as well. They're at school right now, thankfully. Happy to have that back in person. And they're 7 and 9, so kind of at a fun age and a very tiring age. We're pretty much getting to that point now where every evening there is something. Whether it's
believe
like
me,
Scouts.
that gets worse.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, my daughter is into dance, and so she transferred from having 1 class to now she's having 3, and I think it only goes up from there.
Awesome. So she's into dancing, and that fills. Then you have to drive a lot her to the dancing classes, right?
Yeah, well, luckily my wife takes care of a lot of that, but it's still a lot of running around in the evenings as we're kind of swapping between cars and such. So
definitely. So Matt is also from the US, and he told us a lot of nice national parks around the place he lives. So I guess the same counts for you, right?
Yeah. So, Matt's in Utah, so he has the advantage of they're like in his backyard. For us, it's a bit more of a drive. But we have quite a few parks really close or fairly close in the Appalachian Mountains, which are, if you're not familiar with the United States geography, it's the lower mountain range on the eastern side of the U.S. that kind of divides the Atlantic seaboard from the Midwest. There's some. It's amazing back in there. It's very, you kind of step back and your cell phone dies, and you can kind of check out for a while and explore the arches and the waterfalls and all the beautiful nature, and then get back to your electronic addiction.
So how long does your electronic addiction already takes place? When did you start with your profession?
So yeah, I was actually thinking about this morning. The first so Robert was sharing this thing about, some joke about Kubernetes and kids book. And I think the first thing I ever tried programming was when I was in high school. I tried to make a Star Wars turn-based RPG because I'm just that cool. And so that was the first project I ever abandoned. And so, my experience with electronics and with computers started when I was in middle and high school. We got a Mac Performa 400, and so that was the first thing that I ever really worked on, and trying to figure out how websites worked and all that sort of stuff. And, just kind of went from there.
Cool. So it always feels like a silent competition. When did you start using IM or CQ? What was the first version? Because I guess Stefan is leading with version 3.5 or so.
True.
Yeah. Well, the first version I ever actually worked with was 5.2, and then I did do some projects that were older. But yeah, since I'm in the United States, I think we were a few years behind you all in Europe.
Yeah. But CQ5 is still an early one, I would say.
Mm.
That's true.
Yep. So it depends on your perspective.
From my perspective, definitely.
Even for me, I've not been starting that early. I only started with I think 6.0. So I'm newbie, so to say. But however, whenever you're not sitting in front of your computer, what do you like to do the most?
The most. Well, so I grew up in Michigan, which you're a stone's throw from lakes. So I love getting out on the water. Unfortunately, down in central Ohio, or southern Ohio, that's not as much of an option. But every time I go back up to Michigan, I try to get out on a boat or swimming or whatever I can there. And then I love camping. We've got a camper, and take my kids out. We were out last weekend, and we'll be going out in 2 weeks, kind of taking advantage of the fall weather.
Cool. So you go camping over the weekends?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, mostly over the weekends. I did do when we first got the camper, I took it out, and on a work day, so I was just sitting there at the campground working, and I forgot that I had a presentation, and I tried to do screen share over tethered Wi-Fi, and that went not awesome. So try to take it out rarely when I have to actually work, because you're just stuck there working anyways. But then the internet access is iffy.
Yeah, totally understand. And as you for several years now, in the profession of a developer, what would your profession be if you're not being a developer?
So, well, when I went to university, I actually went, and I have a double degree in computer information systems and political science. And so I'm still kind of a political junkie, but one of them pays fairly well, and I decided I really didn't want to be a lawyer. So, but that would probably be that was plan A for a long time.
Interesting.
And then, yeah.
Cool. And if you go out camping, do you cook on your own? And beside that question, if you're not cooking on your own, what is your favorite fast food?
So yeah, I mean, we're camping. We're almost always cooking. I try to do over a campfire. My wife actually made chili over the campfire. In a big cast iron pot, looked like a witch's brew, which is pretty cool. Favorite fast food? That's. I mean, I can't be an American and not say burgers. I would say I don't know. Whenever I go to Europe, there's kind of two things that I always miss. One of them is hamburgers, or just generally. But the big one is always Mexican food.
Wow.
Like Tex-Mex, because I've not found a good place, outside of the United States and the Americas where you can get that style of food, and it's so good.
Cool.
That's true. And actually, I only found once a place in Spain where an American Tex-Mex fast food, kind of like McDonald's and whatever. This is like it's Deep Purple. I don't know the name. I can't remember it, but yeah, it's one of the American lines. My wife said, I knew that from America, and you can. So if you ever go to Spain, they might have it.
There you go. No, I spent a while in Italy working overseas a few years ago, and that was like every time I'd come back, it's like, nope, I gotta go get some Mexican food.
That sounds good. Yeah. Yep. So if I look at the time, we are already coming to an end of the interview, as lightning talks will come up in a second.
Exactly. Yeah.
So at least we found 3 people willing to give a short talk on cool topics, I think. Yeah. So let's see. But first of all, thank you for your time and for the interview, and hopefully you have a lovely day then. And a good start into the day. Thank you as well. Enjoy the last few hours of adaptTo.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to the lightning talks, and appreciate putting this all together. It's been very cool. It's been awesome to participate. So
cool. Thanks.
So long nights for you, I guess.
Yeah. You have to get up early, right? For the first sessions.
Yeah. It definitely, it starts early in the US, and even I, today when I had the talk, I was just dropping my kids back off. So, they're like, "Hey, are you there?" I'm like, "Yeah, just getting in front of my computer."
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.